Like you're not good on camera, you need to spend more time preparing your videos. Every single video that I film, I create a detailed outline, and I've done this for years. So today, I want to break down my script slash outline template so you can do this for your videos. Doing a video without this is basically the equivalent to completely winging it, going up with no preparation, no planning. It's almost a guarantee that your video is going to suck. So take the time to do this before every video and make sure that you submit it to us in the group chat so we can give you feedback on your outline and on your scripts before you get started with filming. Now, there's four main pieces to any great YouTube video. You have your hook and your payoff. You have your main points of the video. If you're selling a product, you're gonna have a CTA. And then finally, at the very end of the video, you're gonna have a payoff. Now, I would argue that the most important thing in the four of these is the hook. Basically, people are competing with you on YouTube. As I showed you guys before, it is literally a war zone. So when somebody clicks on a YouTube video, they're already in that mode where they want to click off the video. That first 30 seconds of the video is crucial to keep them hooked. So how do we get them hooked? First thing you got to do is instantly deliver on the title and thumbnail. What I mean by this is if your title says how I made $100, and then you start the video by saying, "What's up, guys? My name's Jordan. I live in Miami, Florida. I own an online business." No, your title and thumbnail needs to match whatever the hook says. So if the title says how I made $100, the hook of the video should say, "This is how I made $100." Like as simple as that. I'll show you some examples of this. A lot of you guys aren't doing this. A lot of you guys start your videos kind of bad, if I'm being honest. You start the video by saying, "What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, blah, blah, blah." No. Like, take this video, for example. The title says, "Don't start a personal brand, do this instead." Watch what the hook says. Don't try to build a personal brand in 2025. There's something that now you click the video, I answered and delivered on the promise immediately. That's what we like to see. And somehow I'm not even subscribed to myself. That's crazy. I could show you this one too. $36,000 a day making videos. Today, my business generated $36,800, and yesterday we did 31,000. So what I'm trying to show you is that the video delivers right away on the point that I'm trying to make. I'll show you one more example just so this really, sticks with you. I want to show you this one because this video did pretty good for me. I've made over $10 million at just 27 years old. But now remember what the title told you. It says millionaire. Okay, millionaire explained. So the first thing I did in the video was validate that I'm actually a millionaire. I had to start over today from scratch with and then this thing says how to get rich with $100. So what did I say? $100 to my name. This is exactly what I would do to get rich again. And simple, straight to the point, delivers on the hook. I'm gonna show you one last example from one of our clients. This guy is killing. He's one of our top clients, doing close to $1 million a month. Watch how he uses my hook template to make a pretty much flawless hook. Title says, "This 1-minute scalping strategy works every day." Check this out.
This stupid, simple 1-minute scalping strategy consistently gives me days like this, and I'm about to show you exactly how.
Now, let's talk about the second piece of a great hook, which he did right here flawlessly. What you want to do, we'll come back to this in a second. What you want to do in your hook is validate yourself to gain trust with the viewer, especially if you're a newer channel. This is 100 times more important. Validating yourself basically means in our industry showing results, showing money, showing success. And the more realistic, the better. It's one thing to say, "I made $100,000 last week." It's another thing to say, "Guys, let me show you my Stripe dashboard. I made $98,372. One feels super legit. The other feels kind of like you're just rounding up, kind of bullshitting. You need to be validating yourself in the hook. And the best way we can do that is by sharing results, preferably live results. So if you have access to a Shopify dashboard or a Stripe dashboard or even a bank account, whatever it is, show these things in the first couple seconds of your video and people will stick around a bit more. The next thing that you need to do is explain the big payoff. Now, the payoff is basically the big thing that they're going to get at the end of the video. So with Jesse here, this 1-minute scalping strategy. By the end of this video, I should understand the 1-minute strategy. So what you want to do is introduce the big promise, the big payoff. So he actually does a really good job here. That's why I'm going to use this as an example. Let's check it out.
This, and I'm about to show you exactly how. It's so stupid simple that even complete beginners couldn't mess it up, and it appears every single day.
Yep.
Today, I'm going to show you the full strategy and do a 1-month back test.
This is the big promise.
To prove to you that it works.
The big promise is that, yo guys, in 9 minutes, I'm gonna show you the full strategy. I'm gonna back test it and I'm gonna prove to you that it works. These are all elements that must be done in a hook. And we don't have to script everything out on our videos. Definitely not. I like to script my main channel videos, but on my niche channel videos, I do not script them. But I always script the hook. Always, always, always. And you're gonna see a huge uptick in performance of your videos if you begin to script the hooks. So that's what a good hook looks like. And you guys need to spend way more time making a perfect hook. Write your hooks out, send it to me in the chat, and get it approved before recording them. And you're gonna see way more views. We can look at examples all day, but I think you get the point. Now, the next thing you need to plan out is the 3 main points of your video. This can be as simple as step 1, step 2, step 3, or it can be as complex as 3 different types of methods inside of the strategy, or it can be 3 different business models, whatever. You need to pick 3 key points to discuss in your video. And I recommend planning these out ahead of time as well. So what I do on my main channel is I make these sort of like long, drawn out outlines. But what I do on my niche channel, which is what I think will be a little bit better for a lot of you guys, is something like this. So I actually make these little boards, and with these boards, I basically have my whole video plan and my outline. So for example, this is the one that I did right here. This is kind of like the 4 main points that I wanted to talk about. Talking about creating a niche and becoming an authority, talking about how to find outliers, creating a high ticket offer, posting twice a week. Like that is my 4 main points. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It's really not about complication. It's just about finding 4 key things, 3 to 5 key things that you want to discuss in your video. In this case, I did more because this video is a pretty simple one. But in general, you need to get some main points that you want to talk about. And I want to give you guys some advice on how to make those points interesting. So I would say first, you need to start with the most exciting or controversial point. And this is going to give the viewer a reason to stay. As you can see in this video, the first point that I went for was kind of something that was a little controversial. I told them that they suck at picking ideas. I could have easily put get good at packaging, right, as the first thing. But the first thing I put was you suck at picking ideas. And naturally, that makes the person more interested to want to see what's going to happen next. Let me show you another example of a first point that I think really gets this across. I want to show you this one here. Left went through and get a save you on everyone. So the first point that I did on this video is pretty hard hitting, and this video did really good. It got 1.5 million views. The first point that I did on this video, 20 life lessons, I could have told them anything, but the first lesson was like this. First, you need to understand that no one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your teachers, and sadly, not even your best friends. So to truly be successful, like it's a little bit painful, it stings, it puts a hook in you to want to watch the rest of what I gotta say. I could have said, the first lesson is to start a business. Like that's super boring. So always think about that very first point as something interesting. It's just a good practice to get into. The next points that you do don't have to be as exciting. And in fact, I would argue that really the majority of your focus, especially for a raw channel, should go on the hook and the first point. If you can get them past that, you've done 90% of the work because they're in there, they're watching, they're committed. They're probably going to stick around to at least halfway or more through the video. A couple more notes I want to add is that I need you to over deliver on value with this channel. And I think a lot of people, when they do YouTube, they feel like, oh, well, I got a course to sell, so I can't give everything away for free. Yes, you can. YouTube is a game of reciprocity. People don't want to buy from you the first time they see your video. The first time they see your video, you want to build some rapport with them by actually giving them value and helping them. Now, I'm not saying you can't sell in your videos, but what I'm saying is if the whole video feels like a sales pitch and that you're not actually helping them, well, guess what? They're never going to come back to your video ever again. And then they're never going to buy anything. I think the way I've been able to be so successful on YouTube is I've always been a value first creator. If you go back to the early days of my channel, I was giving value about e-commerce without even selling a course. And over time, you know, you can watch as I start to build an audience that just is excited to watch whatever I'm going to put out because they know it's genuine. They know that there's a lot of game in there. And then you build up so much rapport with these people that when you do launch a product, well, guess what? You're printing money because they trust you and they want to buy from you. You don't need years of content to build that effect with people. What you do need to do is with every video over deliver and be as transparent as possible. Like, I can show some examples. I'm a visual guy. Maybe you guys are too. Like, this kid, in my opinion, this is going to be one of the next up e-com channels, and he's doing the micro niche method as well. Why do I think he's going to be so successful? Well, he does everything that I think is correct. He validates the results, keeps it super legit. The whole video is just free value, free game, super transparent. Like, if he dropped a course tomorrow, he'd probably make 10K in a day, maybe more. It's about building that relationship with the audience. And you see the first videos, he didn't come out swinging with a big course. Like, he's just, yo, guys, free value, free value, free value. And then 1 month in, he drops a banger course and prints money. So, this is why I think you guys need to focus on over delivering. Three more things I want to talk about is you need to use stories in your videos. And this is one of my secrets to success on YouTube. Stories are the thing that people connect with the most. So even if you're talking about a boring topic like dropshipping or e-commerce, how can you turn it into an interesting story? Instead of me giving you step by step how to start dropshipping, I want to connect that process to my personal story. Guys, 5 years ago, I was $30,000 in debt. And with my last $200, I tested products and I found my winning product. And I want to take you guys back to the same process I used back in that day. So I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw the sleep band, and this product stood out to me like crazy. So what I did was I tested this product on a store. I started like make it like that instead of like, all right, guys, step one to finding a winning product is going on Facebook and searching for that product. You want to always connect things to your personal story. That is what is going to build a cult like audience for you and really get people to stick around through boring video, educational content. Storytelling is my secret weapon and why I've been so successful on YouTube. If you want to see some of my very best examples of storytelling, go watch this video or this video. All my videos include storytelling, but these two videos, I did it as good as I've ever done it. The other thing you need to learn about, and any of my guys that's watching this that's in sales or have done a webinar before, you must have heard of this term called open loops. Basically, an open loop is when you leave a story or a topic unresolved, which makes people curious and sort of anxious to want to know what's going to happen next. Like, what you do is something as simple as, all right, guys, right now I'm going to show you how to find your first winning product. Well, you just opened up the loop because now I want to know how to find my first winning product. When we introduce the big payoff of our video in the beginning, we are opening the big loop, the biggest one of them all. That's not going to be resolved until the end of the video. And inside of that, we want to open up smaller ones. So in this case, if I say, I'm going to show you the full strategy so you can launch your own store, that's the big payoff, the big loop. But inside of there, there's little open loops. Like, I'm going to show you guys how to find your first winning product. I'm going to show you guys how to build your store. I'm going to show you guys how to run ads. Every time you open one of those loops, it puts another hook in the viewer to want to stick around and watch the video. And all this stuff can get pretty tricky and advanced. And that's why I'm trying to get you guys to spend more time on the outlines of your videos. Because if you plan this beforehand, it's way easier. If you just take a couple minutes to write out your hook, write out the main points of your video, then it's easy. You just go through and try to tell stories and over deliver and you're chilling. Like, it's super easy. If you try to remember all this and just yap off the cuff with this with no YouTube experience, good luck. So really, really get good at understanding open loops. And you can do as many as you want, honestly. The more the merrier. Like, the best marketers are sprinkling them all over. That's all webinars are doing, is open loops. Now let's talk about the points of the videos just a little bit more. Try your best to like flow between the points instead of just saying like, for lesson number one, for point number one, first things first. In general, you want to try to make it feel like it's a seamless transition. People shouldn't even notice that you're going into the next thing. Like right here, what I'm talking about is the how to find a winning product. So instead of saying, all right, guys, this is how you find a winning product, what I wrote here is like, every successful product I've ever sold had 3 traits, which I believe are essential. And if you try to start a store without these, you'll fail and waste thousands of dollars experimenting with terrible products, just like I did. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just feels a little bit more like a natural transition. That's not necessary, but it will help with retention and it makes your videos flow 100 times better. As I said, always be using open loops and connecting your points and make sure they flow. Try not to do these really harsh breaks. Basically, you don't want people to know that the end of the point is there. You want it just to flow. So if you're like, okay, guys, that's all for lesson number one, let's get into lesson number two. It like breaks their connection to the video, it takes them out of that immersion. So now I want to talk about how to sell on video. Selling on video will be discussed even further in the monetization section of this program, but I can give you some quick game on it right now. In my experience over 10 years here on YouTube, the best performing CTAs are soft sells, meaning watch my free course or sign up for my free trial, book a call with my team. These things massively outperform direct CTAs for a $2,000 or a $1,000 product. I'm not saying I never sold a $1,000 product on YouTube. I made a bunch of money doing that, but it doesn't even come close to booking a call and selling high ticket. Like they are in different stratospheres of success. I had a lot of success with this, the free trial method. That's what I did for Viral Vault for many years. We made over $5 million doing that. But this right here destroys everything, especially if you're on a smaller channel. This is what you should be focusing on. Couple more points about CTAs. I wouldn't do these CTAs in the beginning of the video. I would do it after you've earned it. So what I mean is you do it after the first point of the video has been delivered. After you've already given them some value, okay, now you can introduce the CTA element. But don't start your video with that. These people don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. And I know that sounds rough, but I promise you they don't. You have to make them like you. And the way you do that is by over delivering value, not shoving offers down their throat. Once they feel like they got some value, boom, you can introduce that CTA. And the other best place to do a CTA is right before the end of the video. Once people feel like the whole video has been resolved and they got the big payoff, they're not going to stay. So right before that moment where the tension is the most high, you know, in a movie, right before the very end, everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat. Your video should have that same effect. There should be something at the very end that they're still waiting to see. Whatever happens at the very end of the video should be the most exciting thing. Like I did this video most recently talking about I took a stranger from broke to rich in 30 days. The most exciting thing at the very end is trying to see how much money did the kid end up with. The second that people see how much he ended up with, they're off. They're out of the video. Or this video with getting my dad a truck. The second that they see my dad get the truck, that's the big payoff. They're out. They don't want to watch the video anymore. And we can keep going. This is one. The second that they see who won the $10,000 prize, they're out of the video. So, you know, think about that. Even on your simpler videos, what is the big payoff and how can I put my CTA before that? And once you do that final payoff at the end of the video, like I said, it's got to be a big one. It's got to be a climax. It doesn't have to be like in those super niche channels, but still it should be your biggest point or your most important thing so far. Everything should come together. The viewers should feel like they got what they clicked on, and you can really just finish the video there. Like the video after you do the payoff should just completely end. It shouldn't continue on any further. And that's going to help a lot with your retention, because if you keep yapping after that, the drop off is going to be absurd and it's going to kill your video's performance. When the video's over, end it and don't yap at all afterwards. If you're going to ask for something at the very end, I would say only ask for one thing. So guys, book a call with my team down below. Guys, subscribe. I always ask for them to subscribe at the end of the video. Don't ask for multiple things. You're not going to get anything if you do that. So I'm going to leave this document here inside of the program so you guys can review it at any point in time. There's some stuff that I wrote out that you can use. Like I said, last point about this. For my main channel, I do these extremely written out and drawn out scripts. Like they are pretty much bar for bar written out. And I use a teleprompter and it performs really well for me. That's how I made a bunch of money and bunch of views. But for my raw channel, I don't do this. And I wouldn't recommend for a lot of you guys to do this either. What most of you should do is write your hooks, write your points, outline it a little bit, and just record. So that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching.